as you may have guessed it, we are now getting round to another job that is of increased annoyance. And since I've actually managed to acquire this thing, which is a replacement lock cylinder kit, a genuine one, so we can either do two things in this episode. We can either get this outer sheath off and swap the innards and then put them in the new casing, or we can just match the cam shim kit in there to the new one. The truth is, the key works absolutely fine, so there's no worn nature of the driver's lock. So I may just keep the innards in this kit as spare for a day where the lock needs replacing. The innards of the lock, let's say. But honestly, this is a reminder of how stealable these cars are. And this was done about 2 weeks before I bought the car, frustratingly. And the best thing is, the door was actually open. Rob had actually forgot to lock the car on that particular day. He just left it outside the storage facility. And yeah, that's really annoying, that is. But it is a reminder that these cars are very stealable. Most people would be able to steal one with a screwdriver. The person here didn't quite get far enough. To be fair, he's actually butchered most of the outer sheath, and we can actually see the pins and shims in there. So it wouldn't be hard for somebody to pick that lock, I can tell you. But that is why, and this is one thing I will be making people aware about, is Fiesta Mark 3s are very stealable, and I will be immobilised in this car in a few different ways. This car will not be drivable, as far as I'm concerned, when I leave it. So, yeah, warning to the thieves out there, it's going to be hard, very hard. And I can't tell you, because I'm going to be doing things that you will not notice. And that's the idea. You don't tell people your secrets. But anyway, this lock needs to come off, and I've got to show you exactly what the issue is with getting the lock cylinder off. There's no actual sort of wear in that lock whatsoever. Thank you. Central locking motors work absolutely fine. Okie dokie. Right, door card off. Again, self-explanatory. Okay. Still looking very good down there. Bit of wax down there. I will take those screws out because I've got to take the handle out. I've got to disconnect the rod from the handle because there's a bit of rust. Not rust, just something that I need to sort of treat a little bit and then just give it a bit of a touch up. It's kind of like, you know, it's out the way. You're not going to see it there. You're only going to see it when you're like that. But, you know, I know it's there and I need to treat it before. Well, I don't think it will spread. I think it's one of them scabs that just bursts out because there was a bit of surface issue when it was painted in the factory. The paint didn't quite settle, and then the paint came off and then the rust started. But I don't think it's a problem, that one. Anyway, unlike other parts of the car. But as you can see, we have the lock cylinder, and we have this this locking tab that you've got to pull up. Oh wait, we can't pull it up because this blasted window guide is in the way. Oh dear, we got this plastic piece of the window guide that goes just here where my finger is. Okay, and that is held in by these two pot rivets on this side. So as you can see, I've got some new pot rivets. I'm gonna have to drill these completely out. I've got to be careful of the paint around because all this has been wet sanded to an absolute T. It's just so nice. It's so nice. So I'm going to drill these out and hopefully move that guide completely out the way, and then we have got access to literally pull this tab up and I think just connect that rod from the green connector. So we've got to, with the handle, we've got to disconnect it from the red one, and we've got to be very careful with these clips because that'll be me going to a breaker again for another part. I don't really want that. But anyway, the first task is to drill them pot rivets out. Oh, safety goggles and drill. Done. That is the way you remove pot rivets. with the least amount of damage. You know, some people say you can grind them off, you can get a chisel. Yeah, if you want to just damage the surface completely. But I prefer to do things a nicer way. And now I can actually get the, it's actually fallen off as we speak. It's just almost just literally fallen off. And there we go, done. So it sits in the car. So like that, like that. Okay, with the 2 rivets there. I've just got to take the rest of them out. Yeah, I've just got to push the rest of them out. And we can't get the clip out because of this bottom bit. But the rubber is just loose. And now we can actually get this tab up. Now, if I could just push him, it's just moving with my finger. There we go. No WD. I haven't even put WD-40 on this thing and it's starting to move. Come on. Now, if you have a Fiesta Mark 3.5, it has a completely different security system. It's got those 2 blasted circles that you have to turn against each other and they lock. But this is just, I call it a crow's foot. Other people have got different ideas, but now the lock is completely free. Now we can sort of extract the lock as best as we can. I'm just going to go around here and see. I need to disconnect this rod just carefully, pry it out. There we go, done. It's come out of the green rod. That is now free. I just want to make sure that I'm not breaking anything on the other side, and now we can extract the cylinder. Just turn it so it comes out the grooves. Well, would help. It's not completely, there we go, with its rod. I'll just keep the rod like that. Perfect. I'm just going to do a little bit of cleaning up here and there, but it's all good. I'm going to try and take the handle out actually, if I could just release this clip. So just move that. Yep, lovely. Okay, so we've removed the clip and remove the rod. So I'll just remember where it goes. Okay. In fact, I will remove, oh, yep, okay. So we've got that there as well. Okay, 2 rods and a couple of screws. How simple is this? Yeah, they're just quite loose actually. It wouldn't exactly the tightest thing, so I just keep that in the car as well. And this, oh come on. And screws and just hook it out. There we go. I think it needed a bit of a clean anyway. Yeah, we'll give that a bit of a clean up in the house. Yeah, it's all going to get cleaned up. And as you can see here, just around here, I'll just clean all this up and treat it. When you wash the car and you've cleaned all your car here, you get dirt from behind here. I mean, I could do the same with the other doors, but since I'm doing all this, I might as well do it properly and all together. So I'll just give this a bit of a clean up, and I'll put some rust killer on here. A bit of a wet sand will do, and it'll be all good. That's fantastic. I mean, that's how easy things are with this car. This I've got a feeling I've got to drill it out of here. Yeah, I might need to drill the rest of the actual rivet out from the plastic retainer. That's okay, that will take me 2 seconds. Right, now that's all cleaned and wet sanded, and we're going to let the rust killer do its work, and we'll just touch it up with a bit of new paint. As you can see, it's sort of minimalised a little bit and it's all nice and clean, and that's what you want. You want to start from scratch. Now, this little lock. Now, as I say, it's been butchered on that side. I'm hoping to actually replace the casing. I'm going to decide whether to replace the actual shims inside, because there's nothing wrong with this lock. It hasn't actually been damaged in any way whatsoever. The actual sheathing has protected the actual shims, because you have to match them to the key on these. But it's actually just a basic lock. There's a little a spring clip on the back side, and then it all sort of comes off. So I'm going to take a load of photos and a lot of reference points. I've got a diagram inside. I'm going to get this on the workbench, and I'm going to have a go at swapping over. Okay, inside, old one. So basically that's the way the lock works. Just you've got a return spring inside the back side. We've got all the different cams in there lined up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think there's 6. I can't remember how many there are. We have a little clip that just holds everything together. So we're going to have to pry that off in a second. But we've got the kit and the... Oh, right. I hope to God that this is for a driver's side and not a passenger's side, because that is the correct parts number. So I'll just open this and just tip the contents on there. So that's what it should look like, not that. Yeah, you can see what damage has been done. So the outer sheathing has just been jammed off, and the centre has just been chiselled away. I mean, this is supposed to be like a spring retainer. Look at that. It's supposed to pop away. But yeah, we have the barrel. Okay. I'm just going to look at the differences. You know, that's genuine Ford. Absolutely fine. Perfect. Okay, lovely. We have got the sheathing. There are some minor differences to the casing. I'm just going to confirm that that is what it's supposed to be. Yeah. Okay, no problem. Well, as I say, this is going to be swapped over as good as possible. So yeah, we've got the arm. Now the arm is actually of the same sort of construction. Yep. There are minor differences. I do hope that the parts number was correct, because otherwise I'm in trouble. We have the spring retainer at the end. We have the return spring. We have a load of different shims, and we have this pipe tubing. Not quite sure what that is about. But that is the little barrel inside there. You can actually see it here. Okay. So that is the shaft that goes through, and I think that is the opening port. There you go. Okay, now I'm going to just push all this over there. Oh, we've got this spring, this plastic washer. We'll find out where that goes in a second, but just move all that stuff over there. Okay, and then we'll dissect this one. Right, I've just taken a couple of photos. I just got that, put that on as a reference point. But the first thing we need to do is pry off this spring clip. Now we know there's probably going to be some pressure because there's a spring right inside there. Okay, so the spring sits on that ledge. So Andrew, if you've got confused about this, the spring sits on that ledge there. Okay, now strangely enough, I can't see one on the old one, which is very strange, but this is the correct part as far as I'm aware. So we'll go with what it says. But yeah, so it's quite interesting. In fact, if I just take that off, I've got a feeling that the spring may sit on this ledge here. So well, we'll see how it goes. But there's a couple of ledges on this, which is quite strange actually. But anyway, we'll take this off. Just peel it away. Right, okay, so that's off. Now, whoop-de-doo, this is the bit where it comes off. Okay, put your thumb there, because I don't know. If you're not sure whether a spring could come out, be very, very careful. So we put that aside. Now we have the spring. Now the spring sits like that. So the both legs sit on that ledge there. So I'm thinking with the new one, that's how it's... Ah, yes. It's a bit smaller. That's weird. Well, the ledge on this one is bigger than the old one. Okay. But as I say, this is... I've just double-checked the parts compatibility. And this lock, I'll give you the parts number. It's 1022636. It is a lock repair kit for Mark III Fiesta or Mark IV KA. Not a Mark IV Fiesta, Mark III Fiesta, a Mark I KA. So, yeah. What I will do is take this blasted seal off while I've got a chance. Right, just take the seal off. We are going to need to reuse that. But let's see if we can hook this spring off. Now, I'm going to have one finger over one side because we don't want to uncontrol this. So just get your wedge in. There we go. Lovely. It's come off and it's snapped back. Lovely. Okay, now we're going to compare that with a new spring. That's quite interesting. There seem to be different diameters, just a little bit. But I suspect that that's quite weak. And that's much stronger. So maybe, yeah, maybe it's worth... well, we'll be keeping a lot of these gubbins. But anyway, now we've got access to this. Now this washer... this is the washer. Right, it's this one. So this washer keeps this whole piece in. So instead of me pulling this out, you can't because it's a sort of clip washer that holds everything in place. So I think I've just got to, again, pry. If I destroy it, I destroy it. It just has to be pried up. Come on. 10 minutes later, a cut hand, and I've just about managed to pick this. Oh, it's just absolutely horrible, this thing. I still haven't got it completely out, but I'm just starting to... That's it. Once you've got it going, you can just pull the whole thing out. Oh, my God. That is such an absolute pain. Oh, I'll put it there in the rubbish. Honestly, God. Now, finally, just put that down there. Excuse me. Right. Finally, we can take this out. And this is the bit where we got to pay attention. There is the barrel, which we're going to just move out the way now. Well, the outer barrel, the inner barrel is what the key goes in to operate the pusher. Well, the actual arm as such. And we have multiple numbers of shims. Now, well, cams we call them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think there's only 6 in there potentially. Okay. Now, these are coded to the key. If you've got your key code, that's absolutely fine. I haven't got my key code. Although, saying that, some people say you can go to Ford. That's the end of my pick, by the way. One of my picks disintegrated because you're trying to get that washer out. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take every single one of these out in order. And I don't consider these to be worn. But I'm going to take them out one at a time. Lay them down. Okay. We're going to put them top side over, okay? So we're going to do it one at a time, and we're going to lay it out. My idea is to transfer these into a new lock. Okay? Now, these are all kind of splined in, okay? So you're going to see a bit of a pattern here. So if I just show you, okay? They're all kind of sitting like that, okay? There's splines in the actual casing, okay? So you're going to put the first one there face down. Don't move that. This is where, if you haven't got a key code, be very careful. Do it gently. Do it one at a time. Just take them all out. We've got some sort of face there. We've got like a sort of shim there. Okay, we've got another shim. And then we've got another cam. Okay, we'll try and get that the right way, Andrew. Okay, make sure that they are all in the correct position. Okay. Right, then this might be an assorted pile of mess, but bear with me. So, these are the new washers that come with the kit. All these are the new cams. Now, I'm not being funny. They're numbered 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now, I can get a code cut to this key. But, well, basically, I can get a key number based on what key end it is. Okay? The truth is, I can't match any of these. These are slightly warm, but they're not that bad. But the problem is I cannot identify these to match to these. So we are going to use the existing cams. These washers are going to be thrown in the bin because we don't need them. Okay, we've got the new ones. So the new ones are going to displace the old ones. So I'll just put the old ones on the side and the new ones are going to go on. Now you'll see an obvious, and I'll just move these cams because we're not going to need these. I'll just put these on the side as well. Now, when you're doing this, okay, I do have to use, now this is the old sort of barrel itself, okay. There is a roller here. Yeah, that's what the roller is. So, we get the new one, which is slightly smaller. There are some minor differences, but I'm hoping that's not a problem. But you do have to kind of insert the roller into this this piece here. There you go. Now that will probably fall out at some point, but I'm not going to worry too much because that will actually insert itself quite nicely. I mean, this one actually looks as if it's stuck. Well, no, to be fair, it's just a bit gummed in, but the idea is that you can actually put that in after you've put the lock in. But anyway, I've given all these a bit of a clean. I'll just bring it closer. Okay. Now, we've got a couple of splines here. So we've got the roller that goes, where's my bearings? Here, okay. So we've got to make sure that everything is kind of splined in as it should be. So, the first one is this piece. Now, as you can see, we've got a notch. We've got another notch there. That notch at the top is for the roller. So we're going to put that in at the bottom. So just get a screwdriver and try and line it in. There you go. There's no washer at the back. That is lined in perfectly. Okay. You may have to just move it across a little bit because we want the roller to sort of fit in there as best as possible. You may have to just do a bit of tweaking so that that actually sits proportionate. So it is going to take a bit of tweaking, but you'll see how it sits in there. And then we put a washer. Now the washer, this steel washer, again, you can see the notches. Just put it down in exactly the same place. Okay, so bear in mind the old cams have come out the old barrel. So just, you might have to just keep maneuvering this a little bit. It is really fiddly, but you keep doing it until you've stacked them up. Okay, and we'll cut to that. Lovely. Right, okay, so we've got all the cams and the sort of shims in there. They're all kind of lined up. We want to just get it lined up so all the grooves are there. It just takes a bit of get going. Now we can insert the roller. There you go, done. Now, none of these should rotate now that's in place. No, not at all. Just make sure that it's all sort of pushed down. There shouldn't be any play in that whatsoever. Brilliant. Okay, that's good. Now, effectively, now we can insert this in. Okay, there's no other thing stopping me now, so I will put this in. Gotta rotate it the right way. Now, we have got to make sure that is visible. Okay, lovely. Right, so now we have a barrel. Now, the idea will be, if I can put the key in this, I think theoretically, if I can put the key, because I don't want to be putting anything on until I know that that can be inserted. There we go. Oh, yeah. Oh, well, that's not ideal. The cam's falling out. That's not particularly ideal. Right, it fits the key. That's good. That's a good sign. Let me just get this out without further... yeah, that's the idea. Okay, that's good. The key goes in and it turns. That's fantastic. That's just a brief demo. I've just got to put all this back in place now, but I just wanted to do that. Okay. Right. I've now inserted the whole thing again. Now, the roller if you can see there, see there where my finger is at 6 o'clock, that's where the roller is. Okay, and that is the opening and closing term, simple as. Now if I just do this, I'll just put the key in, I'll just hold the barrel. There you go, we have a lock perfectly. It's a bit stiff because this is a bit tighter, but that's fantastic, no problems about that whatsoever. Now it's the reversal, so we've got to put this stupid washer on, which will probably never come off, which is why it's so important. You must check at this stage that that key works that lock, okay, before you put the washer back on. That would be a bad mistake. Now I presume with this you're just pushing it in. This might be, no, hold on, I'm doing it the wrong way. You have to do it blooming this way. That was really silly of me. Just get a screwdriver and push it in. There we go. The tabs will just click onto a ledge. So just keep pushing in. There you go. That's the sound of pain to the next person who wants to get this off. It might be me. You never know. The problem is you can't really reuse this, so I'll probably have to get another one if I want to replace if the lock played up. But that's why you use the kit. But I don't need to do that. And now, oh, that's perfect. The whole thing just turns. Yeah, I'll get full movement. That's fantastic. I'll put some GC85 in this lock, but that's fantastic. Now, assuming we're in the open position, now we have to put the spring on. Now this could be the faffy bit, and that was the old spring. Now this is the new one. So what we've got to do is get these legs to come across to the opposite side. We want that leg on that ledge and that leg on this ledge. So this is going to take some pain. So what I'd suggest is you put one leg there and you're going to try and hold with one thumb and bring it all the way around, and this is going to be painful. You have to put your fingers there to control the spring, because if it goes wrong, the spring's not going to go flying up everywhere. Go on. Go on. Go on, go on, go on, go on, go on, go on. Yay! Done it on camera. Well, that was a first try. There we go. That's really good. That is really, really good. That's gone on really nice. That's quite a strong spring, that is, actually. Much stronger than the original. Now, ideally, what's going to happen... Not sure. Presuming that's how it's sat. Let me just check this. Right, I've just had a bit of a fiddle and I've put the arm back on. What you got to do is get the spring to sit around that part of the arm. So you're getting it to sit around, well, that's not a good example because that's a different arm. But basically you don't want it being around the body. You want it being around the arms. You just got to prise it around. So that's sitting much nicer. Ah, that's it. I've got the spring action now. That's fantastic. I think it's just snapped into place. Let's have a good look all the way around. I'm not happy with this bit. I think it's sitting naturally lower. Sometimes I've known these springs to actually snap and you lose the lock. Now, what should happen is this. Oh, that's a nice stiff lock. There you go. Perfect. That's fantastic. Now, we just need to put, well, I'll put the seal back on before I start. Just, should give that a bit of a clean, actually. Just go over that. Clean as you go. And then I'll just pop that back on there. So it goes all around here and around there. There we go. Fantastic. And then we can just pop this C-clip back on. I'm assuming, that's the wrong one. It comes with a new one. This is a different one. It's like a nose ring pliers. But I tell you what, yeah, I could put this on myself, actually. If I've got enough strength. But basically, nose ring pliers are required. Turns out my picks are too big. I need micro picks. So, I'm going to get myself out of jail here using 2 of these. Picks are invaluable and you just have to control it. Go. Yep. Go, 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 go. That one. That's on. Come on. Oh, flipping heck. Right. Well, it's kind of on, but it's not completely on. But I'm just going to bash it down. Come on. Yeah, just get a screwdriver and push it all the way down. If you haven't got nose ring pliers, I mean, they were tiny. Those holes are absolutely tiny. I can't believe, even my mini ones are like too big for the holes. I mean, what sort of nose ring pliers are you supposed to use on these goddamn things? So just make sure that is really nice and flush. There you go. Lovely. Done. Snapped on. Brilliant. That's not going anywhere. And we have a nice action. That is 1 lock cylinder done. How about that? Obviously, we haven't used the kit. But I'm going to take what bits I can, reuse them, keep all these bits and that, bits and pieces. But we need to stick this back on the car. Right. New lock. Where's my keys gone? Always put my keys somewhere. I'm really pleased. That spring is really strong. I can feel that. It feels like a new car lock instead of an old car lock where everything's gone a bit weak. I really like that. It's obviously uprated from what it used to be. Anyway, let's bung all this back on. And, well, I've got to get the rod attached. We've got to put this on first before anything else. So I'm going to just hook this in. Vastly. I am going to put some GT85 in this. But I believe there is a way of actually putting this in. It is actually splined in. I believe. Right, I've screwed the handle back in. That is now latched onto the red tag. That's good, very good. I have painted the other side, by the way, guys. You wouldn't be able to tell. It's very, very minute. And that handle, I've cleaned the spring. I've gone and pushed that lock in. Lovely, lovely. Job done. And I've just put the clip over. Just put it over. I need to just push it around. The idea is that you shouldn't be able to do that. I've got to be honest with you. I'm not doing it this way. I'm going to put that clip in sideways, because if I ever have to get that lock out, I'm not having to do this. I'm not being funny. People don't go through this length to steal them these days. People just go the direct route with a screwdriver into this lock or prise the lock. So I want to make this easy. I'm not doing it this way now. I'm actually going to move. Thieves will be aware of this now. But I might have to bend that because it's a little bit slack on this one. But you know what? That's not going anywhere. That's locked. That is really, really locked. And then you just put the rod in. This is going to be the fiddly bit with this. But basically you're just hooking that end there and that piece in there in that green connector. Oh, come on. Just be very careful when pushing things back into their clip. Come on. There we go. It's in. Done. Brilliant. Now is the ultimate test. I'm going to have to tighten that because that whole tag is bending just a little bit. Right, now that tag is not adjusted correctly. I need to actually, there's a slight difference between this one and the original. That clip doesn't quite keep it where it should, because if I do this, well, that's fantastic. Fantastic. But if you look carefully, Oh, you see what I mean? It's come away a little bit, so it's not ideal. Okay, so I might have to just bend that tag just a little bit more. I mean, it's possible because I've done it from the side, but I don't want to be going through all this again. Let's just save ourselves the bother here. That's me done today. That is seriously me done today. I'm going to leave you with this because I haven't come back to I have been messing with the car and just fine-tuning it just a little bit. But that is how to replace the lock cylinder on a Fiesta Mark III. Pretty much. With a bit of faffing. I've got to sort that tag out, but that's pretty good. So Fees will know exactly how to get into my car in the future. But if we start this up, should be able to... Just about. Perfect. And I'll leave that with you. You take care, guys. See you very soon.